I don't think I expect anything more from them. They are just keeping Marcel Nnamdi Kanu there because they want to keep him there. That is exactly what is happening. And you know where I have a problem? I have a problem with the British government. Do you want to tell me that if it is a British citizen from a different country, if it is a man from a different country, do you think that the British government will allow their citizen to remain for this long in detention? Even when the court,
at all. Absolutely no.
Even when the court, irrespective of how bad the court is, they have asked him to go. They released him. The apex court said, you cannot build on nothing. You kidnapped this man. You committed an international blunder. You went against every rule of law as the world will have it. All rules of law and conventions. You went against them. You moved away from Nigeria, penetrated into another person's sovereignty, and kidnapped the person and brought the person back to Nigeria. With all this, how do you think? You have no ground to deal with that man legally because the Supreme Court has said it. But the courage is what I don't see in the Supreme Court, because he who pays the piper pays the tune. So if you remember when the Court of Appeal set Marcel Nnamdi Kanu free, they quashed all the charges against him.
All the charges.
All the charges against him. There was nothing found. They did not find him culpable on any count. Those judges, Okocha, those judges that freed Marcel Nnamdi Kanu in Court of Appeal, do you know, within overnight, they were transferred, they were changed. It was a different judge, a different set of judges that came and stayed the execution of that ruling. This is what Nigeria is. And the world is watching all these things going on. The world will not speak because most of them that can speak and things begin to happen are in bed with Nigeria. They have economic interest with Nigeria. They have supply of crude oil from Nigeria. They have gas flowing from Nigeria. The students, because the Nigerian education system has gone bad, the students, according to what I heard, I do not know, but you can fact check it, that Nigerian international students, especially in the UK, pay over £500 million a year just for tuition. How do you think that they will have interest in what is happening? You can buy all yourself for all they care, but as long as their economic interest is not affected, they have no problem. If they wanted to do something, the buying of the agitators alone is enough for the world to open a very serious book for Nigeria. The buying during the NSAS is enough for the world to open a different book, an ugly book for Nigeria. But because of their interest, the globalist agenda, whatever, they will not. They allow that to go on. And Nigeria is now mastering the act of injustice. That is what I can say about that. Thank you.
Mr. Mwimbo, so you are saying that Britain, as we all know, they are not responding well to Marcel Nnamdi Kanu's detention. You are saying it's because of the economic interest they have in Nigeria, that is why they are doing that. And most of the international community that's supposed to act, that it is because of the economic interest they have in Nigeria that is making them not to act. But the question I have, towards this is that if the Britain, maybe other countries, they are not interested, what is the indigenous people doing? Do you think we are doing enough to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu will be freed?
You see, Okocha, there is an adage where my mother comes from. They say that you see, what kills a cow lives inside the tummy of the cow. If you remember, I want to give you some certain examples now. Do you know how many years it took them to proscribe Boko Haram? Do you know how many years? Even when the
international community proscribed Boko Haram first before Nigeria.
Good. Good. Do you know that the northern people, most of them, like Sheikh Gumi, even the past president, Buhari, they were in support of what they were doing. Even Buhari came out and said, according to the news and what he said, that any attack against the Boko Haram is an attack against the northern Nigeria. So what do you make of that? Then coming to our own people are simply agitating because they are not benefited. They are ill treated in the country that's supposed to be their own. You know, the country that they belong to, they call their own. But we know that they hate the Biafrans so much. I love the Biafrans. I love you. You are a Biafran. I love each and every one of you because I share your DNA in my blood, because I speak your language, because my mom comes from you. My mom is your elder sister. Okay? So these are some of the things. They would not, they did not, they refused to proscribe them in Nigeria. But immediately, the agitators came that are not terrorists. They were not terrorists. They were mere agitators for secession. They want to leave that contraption called Nigeria. They rounded them up. Go and check the videos of what they did to these people that were not carrying any arms, only flag and chanting. That was what they were carrying. They made them the level of mayhem they gave to these people, my brother, was unprecedented. It was horrific. Some, they robbed them, they doubled them in the mud, they flogged them, they beat, they wounded a lot of them. In fact, they dehumanized them beyond reasonable doubt. These people kept going. These people kept going. Who proscribed Nnamdi Kanu as a terrorist? Who sold him out? And I will tell you today, in my own opinion and what we have seen, it was Willie Obiano, the former governor of Anambra State. They were the people that organized themselves, if we don't do it, because they have been promised leadership, you know, maybe a vice president or president. They've been promised all kinds of things. Then I said, no. He said, if you remember Dave Umahi was making statements. And the reason why he left PDP or APGA to APC was because of what they promised. But it didn't go the way, you know, he thought. So in a nutshell, I would tell you that it is the political elite in Biafra land, all of them, that sold Nnamdi Kanu to the Nigerian government. They first proscribed Nnamdi Kanu. Because if they protected Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB, just like the way they not protected Boko Haram, nobody will proscribe Nnamdi Kanu. And the suffering, you cannot sell your own brother. You can't sell your own brother and expect the person, the buyer of your own brother, to respect you or honor you. That is the reason why, even when they talk, it carries no weight, Okocha. It's quite unfortunate. Thank you.
It's very, very unfortunate. Now, Nnamdi Kanu have a problem with the Bentanyako court. The problem is that Nnamdi Kanu is saying that Bentanyako don't want to respect what the court, the Supreme Court said. Because Supreme Court said Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail. Bentanyako is trying to say Nnamdi Kanu jump bail. So there is a conflict. I now started asking myself question: is Supreme Court still lower than the Federal High Court? Is Federal High Court not supposed to be subject to the decrees and the judgments of the Supreme Court? Because they said anything Supreme Court passes, it becomes a law. So what is going on?
You see, I expected Bentanyako to just give a declaration of. In fact, you see, the Nigerian government has no case against Nnamdi Kanu. They are just dilly-dallying. They are afraid. They are ashamed that Nnamdi Kanu is going to be released and come out and begin to blast them the way he used to blast them before. But see, the more they keep Nnamdi Kanu there, the more Nnamdi Kanu is generating favor from people. And he will get to a stage where they can no longer control the man. The man is going to get what he wants. The freedom of his people, no matter how long they keep him there, the man is going to get what he wants. And that is what I also want for him. If it is stone, let the Biafran people go and grind it and eat. You see this piece of the graveyard, we don't need it. The piece of the graveyard, we don't need it. Marcel Okocha, how do you want to tell me that in my own land, this is what Nnamdi Kanu is fighting? You call yourself a secular state, but you have 12 states up there practicing Sharia. And they are driving it now deep into the southwest with alacrity, without fear. You have a system that empowers others and, make you powerless. You have a system that gives the blind eye for ordinary civilians, militants, to carry automatic assault rifles. But you cannot carry automatic assault rifles. That is the country you want Nnamdi Kanu to remain in. Is that the country you want Okocha, Marcel, to remain in? That you
absolutely,
you are absolutely someone who come from the Sahel, enter into your compound, ransack your compound, force you into IDP. Is that a country? Is that a country that you can be proud of? A giant of Africa that has seen so many things. Look, let me tell you, if Nigeria gets it right, the rest of the Black African countries will no longer suffer. I'm telling you the truth. But the wickedness of Nigeria against the Biafran people is the reason why Nigeria is where it is. If you look at the time when Sodana was accusing the Igbos, if you make them a storekeeper, by the time overnight they will just rise up. That is their gift. You cannot take it away from them. When you envy them, when you become jealous about them, you are killing yourself. If that is your own business, you are killing. When they removed them, the refineries were working. The parastatals, all the parastatals were functioning in those days. That time they were complaining that, Igbos are taking over everywhere. If it is through merit, Marcel Okocha, you won't be here. If it is through merit, you won't be here. But meritocracy has left Nigeria. So that is exactly what is happening over there. Our people can't see it. And even when they see it, they are afraid. It's like some kind of, that kind of mau they are doing, you see, when the child see mau, then you become judge. This is exactly what is happening to our political elites in the Biafra land. They can't speak, they can't talk, they can't stand for their own. That is the reason why they are throwing us the way they are throwing our people. If not, it wouldn't have happened. If our people would come out to speak and speak in unity without selling their own, my brother, it wouldn't have gotten to this. Imagine Nnamdi Kanu could have been this long time ago. And due process would have been followed. And if not, you see the people, the man that was speaking so hard that time, what is this man's name? It's an elder man in PDP. I've forgotten his name. He always Yes. He was the one that was speaking and talking. In fact, I listened to one of his. That is the only man I respect, although he is also a politician. I'm telling you this, because he told them, he said, let nothing happen to that young man. If anything happens to that young man, Nigeria will not be the same. That is what he said. The journalist asked him, is that not a threat? He said, take it for all you care. Take it, whether it's a threat or what. That is the only, the rest are lily-livered political, politicians, political elites. They can't speak. They have bribed them. All of them have one skeleton or the other in their cupboard. Therefore, they can no longer speak. That is what is going on, Marcel. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Awimbum. I'm not going to ask you a question based on what has transpired in the Nigerian army that you spent 18 years. Let's just focus on this issue of Nnamdi Kanu, his incarceration and his freedom in view. The reason why I always talk about the agitation of Biafra and why I support the freedom of the indigenous people, not only Biafra, how I wish every indigenous people in Nigeria will have the autonomous freedom, is because I'm going to give you a story of what happened just the day before yesterday here. There is a community called Umunede. Umunede is a community in a Northeast local government. The distance between Umunede and Ogwashuku is another city close to Asaba in Anyochunshim in the federal constituency. Is very, I don't know how many kilometers, but it should be very, very long distance. Okay? Now, kidnappers came they kidnap people from Umunede. They tie their eyes. You know that these people, they spent almost 4 days on foot to go from Umunede to Ogwashuku. Now, what happened? The guy was narrating how they were drinking mud water. You see all those potopoto water. That is what they drank for the 3rd day. In fact, the 1st day, the 2nd day, no food, nothing. They were being maltreated. Now, these people knows the whole route. They know the whole road they are following in the bushes. And that is what we were against about the open grazing. You know, these people, they were able to know all this route because of open grazing. Someone will come all the way from Niger Republic and bring his cattle to Delta State. Someone will come all the way from Sokoto, bring his cattle to Delta State. It doesn't make sense like that. So it creates vulnerability. It makes a lot of people not to take hold of their nation, not to take hold of their community, because you are just living inside the town. Other people are living inside the bush. All these things are the reason why Nnamdi Kanu now started this Biafra agitation. Biafra agitation is a good cause. Nobody could come out to say that they don't know what they don't know what they are doing. Your people are dying. Nigerian politicians are so wicked, very wicked. If you see, like in Delta State here, go to so many communities, people are dying, but their politicians won't talk. They won't talk because of their personal interest. They put their personal interest above the interest of their people. This is evil. This is sad. And that is why we are saying that any further detention of Nnamdi Kanu is not just an attempt to do things against the Igbos. We will consider it as a direct attack. It will become attack. Any further detention of Nnamdi Kanu, except this February that we are hearing rumor that they want to release him. Any further attack on him will not be accepted, because all these things is just a direct assault, direct attack on an ethnic nation, not him personally. Anyway, this issue is complicated, and the federal government are the one that is making it to be complicated. If not, I do not see anything here, okay? I do not see anything here. Let us just receive some calls. You can join us by giving us some calls, and also you can join us through the StreamYard, because as I speak to you, very soon we are going to know the outcome of today's proceedings. I'm following it up here. So that is the issue. So Mr. Wimbo, I was telling a story about people that were kidnapped. They took them to Ogwashuku and they tied their eyes so that they could not see where they passed until they arrived at Ogwashuku. So it was when they came for ransom, they discovered that these people are already in Ogwashuku. So the guy was giving a story on how they were drinking mud water and so on and so forth. So that was the stories we were discussing before your network now went off. And also, I don't know whether your network is still stable up to now, because we can see that you are not moving very well. Okay. So that is the issue. Can you hear me now? You can unmute yourself.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm giving thumbs up. I can hear you. Okay. So that is the issue, because it was all this issue of kidnapping. Nnamdi Kanu was against open grazing. He was asking questions like, in Homeland is not up to Delta State. Homeland is not up to Edo State, but Homeland is able to provide almost the whole world with drink. That open grazing is not something that we are going to be doing in Nigeria, but a lot of people, they misunderstand him and they came against him and so on and so forth. So it is a very, very bad issue. It's a very bad issue. So if Nnamdi Kanu, after today, maybe they will release him or they will not release him, they will adjourn the case, because they said they want to finish everything in February. From the rumor I'm hearing that they want to release him this February. But if the continuous detention of Nnamdi Kanu persists, what do you think that the Igbos should do, Mr. Wimbo? Mazu Okocha, thank you so much for this kind of question. This your question here, it carries a lot of weight. If this is, I don't know how to, weigh it, because it carries a lot of weight. You see, I don't think the people that are supposed to do something for Mazu Nnamdi Kanu are the political elites. in Biafra land, especially in Southeast, because they were the people that sold him out. So what the only thing they would do is the agitation to continue. That is the only thing we would do, the agitation to continue. Just like, it's quite a pity that some people are just, using it to satisfy themselves and their let me just say, their power, the ability, or the urge for power. So, but the United States of Biafra, as headed by Ngozi Orabueze, I believe that she is doing something, to a diplomatic level. So that's the only thing. The agitation will continue. Whether they release Nnamdi Kanu or they refuse to release Nnamdi Kanu, it will stop the Biafran people from continuing to agitate. The only problem that I have in Biafra land now is this. These same politicians are using the activities of the ipob, the agitators, what I call the real agitators, catching them, catching the traditionalists. My brother, you are catching them, you are sending them, even those who are the real agitators and those who are not, are being caught in the web. And they are extrajudicially, buying them. I had some voice notes, some people that carried their oxygen, cans to the forest to go and weld. What they say they want to go and weld there. They were all arrested. Some of them were fired in the process. And the guy that was talking was saying he's either the elder or the younger brother. That they are not. What they are accusing them of being kidnappers.
Yeah.
You see, I just pity. My brother, there is nothing. The Igbo people, the time when the Igbo people will speak and Nigeria shake has gone, because they don't sell themselves finish. They have sold themselves finish, and the rest of Nigeria have seen that they are indeed what they know to be in the past. They are today cowards. I'm telling you, Okocha, today the Igbo political elite only, but that man that I told you about, that Dano last one, that is the only man that can open up and speak with venom. That is the only man that I respect. The rest of them are lily-livered individuals that are just here to be politically correct and benefit from the status quo.
All right. Another question, officer. Before now, someone like Omoyole Sowore, so many police officers who are retired, some DSS officers who are retired, they have told us that the Nigerian state parastatals like DSS, that they are benefiting from Nnamdi Kanu's detention. That any day Nnamdi Kanu appears in court, that they release 500 million naira for security and for everything. I am still thinking about this. You as an experienced Nigerian soldier ex that has served this nation for over 18 years, do you think that security operatives like the one you served, DSS, that they could, mastermind the prolongment of the case, the detention, just because of money?
Excuse me, Marcel, Okocha will tell you, when we go for what we call IS, that is a part of internal security. We have a ration they pay us. Apart from that, there is no other money. You see, this is the military. We have a ration that they pay us. They call it RC, ration cash allowance. That's what they pay. And when we were there, I think it was, about 200 naira or 300 naira or so. They'll pay you. That is your IS operation. That is what. When you see these people, you see, there is nothing that cannot happen in Nigeria. No evil that is alien to the Nigerian system. Anyway, that is, will you now blame the Yahoo boys? Is that not part of scam? Is that not part of scam?
Those ones are senior Yahoo boys. Senior Yahoo boys.
This one is Yahoo under the security guys. This one is what kind of, how much in Abuja? How much? 500 million naira for one person to take one person
every day, yeah, to bring one person to court.
Okay, how much were they spending to take Sowore to court? These people, you know, you cannot just imagine what that country can do. It's quite a pity what is happening there. They maximize the opportunities and use it to their own benefit, selfish interest, and not for the national interest. And all these people, when they come out, they will tell you, "Oh, I am one Nigeria. I want Nigeria. I want Nigeria. One Nigeria. One Nigeria is sacrosanct. The unity of Nigeria is sacrosanct." But these are the same people that are fanning these ambers of injustices that is going on and evil that is going on in that country.
Mr. Wimbum, I want to put it to you. Anybody shouting about one Nigeria, I'm not against them all, but anybody shouting against one Nigeria has a business, a connection, or his own personal business. He want to, as in, they have a business they are putting ahead of the people who are dying every day. They put their own interests above the interests of poor masses who are suffering every day. So when I look at people who are saying, no, we must develop, I look at them, I see their brothers as senators. I see they follow politician who is giving them 20,000, 50,000, 150,000 every day. Anybody shouting about one Nigeria is not because of the interest of the humanity. Go and verify what I'm saying. Anybody that tells you, let me give you an example of what Obasanjo did immediately after the presidential election. When they saw that Atiku has lost, because it is because of Atiku that made them to even support P2P. Let me just tell you. Now, when they say that Atiku has lost, and they knew that the election was manipulated, was rigged, do you know what Obasanjo did? He quickly ran to Abdul Salami, let us call P2P to order to tell his people not to protest, not to do, because we don't want Nigeria to divide. Why would he not want Nigeria to divide? Do you want him to lose his oil well? Do you want him to lose everything he has? So these are the situations that I'm saying that anyone who you see that is always calling one Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria, it is because of it. Yeah.
You see, this is exactly what Marcel Nnamdi Kanu was saying. This is the bane of his preaching. There is nobody in Nigeria today that is calling for one Nigeria. Oh, there is a future for Nigeria. If the person is not benefiting from the corrupt status quo, the person is anticipating to get what in the future. Anybody that is calling for one Nigeria, that person has already gotten what is, but there is something that person is getting. And where do those things come from? Okocha, is it not from your land? Yeah. Is it not from your land that these things are coming from? What makes Nigeria a rich country today in terms of crude oil? Is it not from your land? Tell me, what benefit have you been getting from the same thing that God has given to you? What benefit? What have you? People, see, there is what the Igbo people call, you know, Okpa, right? You know Okpa?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okpa.
Yeah.
Good. The breadfruit, what we call Okpa in Igbo land, you know, that was planted in your father's compound without gate. The thing mature, ripe, and you are waiting for it to fall. It didn't fall. You are in the house, then the breadfruit unfortunately fell on the ground. The passerby came and took it and went home. When you came out, you couldn't see it. That is what the Nigerian system has made the South and the Southeast people that are the oil producing, states, major oil producing states in that country. They are fetching the breadfruit that is planted in your father's land. Taking it away, they enjoy. Go to Kaduna Airport and go and see the queues of private jets. Where the money is coming from? Where are they getting the money to buy these things by themselves? When you go to the north, you see there are secret billionaires over there. There are secret billionaires. Right. How much did Obasanjo? How much did he not loot? Abu Salami Abubakar, as bad as Abacha left Abacha. I think we heard that Abacha left close to about $8 billion in this national coffers. $8 billion.
He tried though.
Yeah, $8 billion. But when Abu Salam was living, how much did he get? How much did he leave for them? How much did he leave for them? You see, these are people that are using the Nigeria. Look, Nigeria, Goldie, is it Goldie, the founder of Nigeria? I mean, is it the Niger Royal Company?
The Niger Royal Company.
Yes, Nigeria is a commodity. It's a farm. It's a farm. Everybody goes in there to plant and fetch. That is what today Nigeria is a farm. Everybody goes in there to see what they can, scoop from that farm. When Goldie took it over, he formed a company, Niger Royal Company or whatever. Then he brought Lugard. He brought Lugard to administer it. Lugard now brought the amalgamation, 1919 amalgamation. He brought them together for easy administration, simple and not more, so that they will continue to milk. And when they now left, what happened? They sold it at what price? I think over 800 and something thousand pounds. As at that time, check, you will see it there. British bought it from Goldie and Lugard. And that is the company that is there. That is the company. Nigeria is a company. Everybody comes in there to fetch whatever that they want to fetch. Nobody is in control. The only people that get it are those people that are wielding the power of authority. These are the only people that are benefiting from, not you and any other person in our land. Thank you.
Mr. Wimbum, this is a very serious issue. But by the way, Nnamdi Kanu has arrived in the court premises with his normal attire, as usual. We don't really know what is going to transpire today, during the court process. But what we know is that this is just a delay. A delay of justice is not a denial of justice. For me, there is no how a Nigerian court could come out to say, Nnamdi Kanu, you are guilty. And if, for example, now, they say they're charging him for terrorism. If at all, Nnamdi Kanu committed something before, the time frame Nnamdi Kanu have stayed in detention has overpassed even the years they're supposed to give him like penalty if he committed anything, but he did not commit anything. This is also the case of what is he called, this man, Igbo in Lagos. They put him in detention. And at the end, court says, I did not find anything guilty that this man does. You know what the lawyer of the Lagos state government did? They said, no, he said he's a chief. It's against our law to call himself a chief. Okay, court says, okay, no problem. Inside the 2 years you have stayed, let us minus 1 year that you're supposed to stay for calling yourself chief. Then the remaining 1 year is an illegal stay. You are not supposed to be in detention. You see the shenanigan, and in Nigeria, there is nothing to write about Nigeria justice system. When the Farotimi was writing that Nigeria has a criminal justice system, people refuse to understand him. They thought he was writing against Igbo was arrested because he said stop destroying Igbo properties in Lagos. That if you don't stop destroying Igbo properties in Lagos, I will bring Biafrans to come and defend us. They put him in detention for 2 years before they took him to court. And it was the intervention of someone like Okocha, the House of Rep representing him. Every day he was hammering on it. Now they took the man to court. Don't get it to court. The court says, you people don't have evidence against this man. What he said is what he said. You people have the right, the responsibility to defend the properties of the people. It is your duty. So since you did not do that, you are not supposed to hold this man. Before they started saying about chief, the man did not say I am the Ezindi Lagos. He said Ezindi Igbo in Lagos. If I am a chief in Nigeria and I travel to Berlin in Germany, I am still a chief in Nigeria. So people of Nigeria over there, I am still their chief, but not the chief of people of Berlin. That is the simple thing they refuse to understand. And they ask the man to relinquish 1 year he has stayed for saying he's an Igbo. The man has filed for compensation and for everything. Let me tell you, if Nnamdi Kanu comes out from detention, the first thing he's going to do is to begin another lawsuit. This thing is going to be a very long battle. He's going to start a lawsuit for compensation because you cannot keep someone in detention for years upon years, kidnapping. The plane they used to kidnapping, whether the person is alive or dead, nobody is going to go unpunished. So these are the things maybe they are trying to figure out. But as I said, the delay about this judgment or the delay in a justice system is not going to be the denial of justice, because there is no how the federal government of Nigeria, there is nothing they will do that they can use to deny Nnamdi Kanu justice. This is what the world knows. For you to know how ugly, how bad this system, how bad Nigeria is, a whole United Nations. See, if I tell people that law does not exist in the world, it's interest. United Nations ruled that this is a violation of human rights, that they should free Nnamdi Kanu immediately. Buhari did not listen up. They did not obey United Nations. So that is why, if I'm telling people everything happening in this world, any nation can compromise. As far as Nigeria has oil, they will tell them, we'll give you oil. Any nation can compromise, including America under Democrat Obama. We knew how they forced Buhari on Nigeria. Jonathan was crying, even though I called him the weak president. He was crying. There is nothing they did not do just to remove the man. International politics is at play in Nigeria. International politics is at play in the detention of Nnamdi Kanu.